sketching quadratic inequalities in 110 seconds. Let's go. This, guys, is definitely one of the most challenging topics in the course, but don't worry, I'm going to do my best to make it clear. Let's have a look. The question says, shade the region on the graph which satisfies y is less than or equal to x squared plus 7x plus 12. What are we going to do? Step number one, guys, that's going to be to sketch our quadratic, most importantly showing where the graph crosses the x-axis. How do we find our x-intercepts, guys? We're going to factorize this, finding two numbers which multiply to give 12 and add to give 7. That's going to be 4 and 3. So we can write this as x plus 4 times by x plus 3. Now, to find the x-intercepts, we can reverse those signs. We have minus 4 and minus 3, drawing those on very approximately. Now, guys, we know the general shape of a quadratic is this kind of U shape, so we're going to draw this just like so. That wasn't too bad. If we want to, we could put on the y-intercept, guys. It would be that number on the end, the 12, but we wouldn't have to in this question. Finally, shade the region. How are we going to know whether it's going to be this side of our graph or the side below? What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to substitute in the point 0, 0, this coordinate here. Now, if that gives us an equation which is correct, if it makes sense, if the answer is correct when we substitute it in, then we're going to be shading the side of the graph which has the point 0, 0 on. And if it's not correct, if the equation doesn't make sense, then we're going to be shading the other side. Let me show you what I mean. So substituting in 0, 0, we're going to have y equals 0 and x equals 0. What's that going to give us? It's going to give us that 0 is less than or equal to 0 squared plus 7 times by 0 plus 12. Now, the 0 squared and the 7 times by 0 will just go to 0. So the equation becomes that 0 is less than or equal to 12. Is that correct? Yeah, it is correct. 0 is less than or equal to 12. So we know that we're going to be shading the side of the graph which has the origin on it, which has the point 0, 0 on it. So the final step, guys, is going to be to do our shading. Let's use a nice yellow color. So just coming around the graph like this, we're going to be shading the entire side of the line which has the point 0, 0 on it. That, guys, is how we're going to be shading regions defined by quadratic inequalities. If you weren't sure there about the moving parts, for example, sketching the quadratic in the first place, make sure you watch our video on that. Hopefully it will clear it up.